What is up, guys? Welcome to Horror for Dummies TV once again, and I'm here with episode 3 of Netflix recommendations to watch during lockdown. If you haven't checked out our other videos yet, we've got the fun revisits, we've got the classic 80s old school movies, and this one we're going to be talking about hidden gem movies, movies that don't get talked about enough, that are streaming on Netflix right now. So if you are bored during lockdown or during school holidays, wherever it is you are, then these movies are ones to watch. Before I do all that, I'm going to do the boring stuff first. If you like this video, please subscribe, comment down below, like it, share it, all that cool shit. It means the world to us. Especially subscribe, man. That we desperately need some subscribers. So if you are digging this one, subscribe. Alright, on to the actual list. Now, without further ado, let's just jump straight into it. The first one I've got, the hidden gem. Now this one, some people out there might go, it's not hidden. I know about this movie. And I'm sure that most of this list, people are going to say, oh, that's not hidden. Everyone knows about those movies. But the mainstream audience probably don't. I never really see these films being talked about too much. So, with that being said, the first one is Orphan. Orphan is a film that, one of the few films that actually got under my skin. Now, this is a slow-moving film with a twist at the end. So if you're in the mood for an action-packed blockbuster, this isn't the movie for you. But if you are in the mood to sit down, chewing some popcorn and just really get into an in-depth film with a twist and it all comes into an end, then this movie is definitely worth a recommendation. For those people who have seen this movie and know the twist really creeped me out. I don't know why. There's nothing supernatural or anything like that, but what happens, it's just blood curdling, kind of. I don't know, it just got under my skin. The performances in this movie are really well done. The story as a whole is just fascinating. And I don't know how true this is, but I've heard rumors that this is in fact a true story. I don't usually go off that with horror movies. I don't care either way. But with this one, if it is a true story, pretty messed up. So Orphan, go and give this one a watch. I need to revisit this one because it's really such a good film and definitely worth your time. Next one I have is a movie that came out recently, I believe 2019. It's called The Wretched. And this one is streaming on Netflix, obviously. And if you are in the mood for a more so action-packed film, more so than Orphan anyway, then this one might be worth your time. This one, I'm not going to say too much about it because it is relatively new, but it does have really cool creature effects, a really decent little story. I remember watching this and getting into my head that this is basically a Goosebumps movie for adults. And if you are anything like me, a big Goosebumps fan, then this one is definitely worth a watch. I'm not going to sit here and say it's a perfect movie from start to finish because it does have some flaws, but as a whole, I did enjoy it. So I think it's definitely one to put on your radar. So that is The Wretched. Let's talk about this next one because this is probably the highlight of the video right now. We're going to be talking about two movies in one. These two movies are Creep 1 and Creep 2. Now, Creep is a movie that is heavily underrated, and this is a movie that needs more attention because, in my opinion, it's fucking phenomenal. The first one is just, oh god, almost near perfect. Near perfect. I love this film from start to finish. The second one, I wasn't as huge into, but it's still a really, really good movie. The story of Creep is you get this guy who wants a videographer to basically makes a video journal on his life because he's slowly dying from cancer and his wife is having a baby, but that's not really what it seems. It turns into a few twists and turns, and where it goes really, really struck a nerve with me. This title for this film fits it perfectly. This is, in my opinion, the creepiest movie I've ever seen. This movie, if I told you before that Orphan got under my skin, this movie, Creep, got under my skin tenfold. It is fucking phenomenal. Now, it is found footage. So if you are not in the mood for a found footage film, maybe give it a miss. but it's not one of those films where it's all over the place. It's not Cloverfield or the Blair Witch Project where it's too shaky. This one is relatively simple. And the cool thing about Creep is it's made by only two people. And the two people that made it are the two people that star in it. So I think that's really cool move. Creep is just, in my opinion, a phenomenal movie. It's probably, if I'm going to give you my list of favorite found footage films, Creep would easily be in my top 5, if not my number 1 favorite found footage film. I think Creep is phenomenal, and this is a movie that needs more eyes, man. Go and check this out because you are passing up an opportunity to watch a really cool movie here. Creep 2 is just a continuation of this story. It doesn't have the same impact as Creep 1 did because you know everything. With Creep 1, the whole fun of it was, what's happening? Is this guy legit, or what? Is there something else to him? Where Creep 2, you already know what the go is. Still, Creep 2 is a really fun movie. It just doesn't hold the same impact that the first Creep did. But Creep 1 and 2, oh my god, you need to go and check this out. This is on your list right now. If you haven't seen Creep, this is the first one that you choose out of the movies that I'm talking about. On to the next one. We are talking about a very slower type movie, and this one's called The Invitation. Now, The Invitation, I don't want to say too much about it because it's a semi-mystery film, which is very, very slow paced. This is what the popular people call a slow burn, but there is a burn at the end. What happens at the end of this movie is one of those jaw-dropping moments where you're like, holy shit, that just happened. Okay. The character development in this movie is fucking phenomenal. The acting in this movie is beyond great. It's phenomenal, the acting. The acting is probably the best thing I can give this movie credit for. This movie as a whole, if you are not in the mood for a slow movie, then don't watch it. But if you are in the mood for a movie that takes you on a journey and keeps you guessing, The Invitation is definitely worth a watch, in my opinion. So give that one a go. The next one I'm going to talk about is a period piece film called Apostle. This one is a Netflix original, and this one is somewhat another slow burn film. So once again, if you're not in the mood for a slow burn, a slower film, then skip it, but I still think that this is worth a recommendation. There are things that happen in this film that had me, holy shit. Yeah, wow, they just went there. Really cool movie. If you are not into period pieces, which is movies based in early days, I'm talking about like, I can't remember exactly what time it is, but think medieval times. So if you're not into the mood like that, then it won't be for you. But for me, I really enjoyed this movie. It has some decent kills. And when I say decent, I mean holy shit type kills. It's got a weirder type story. There is a horror element to it. It's not just man on man. But yeah, this one is another one that is worth your time. Apostle is one of those movies that I won't watch all the time because it is slower paced and you have to really be in the mood for it. But when it's time to watch it, we're in. Let's do it. The last one I'm going to talk about is one that's not on the horror section on Netflix. It's actually in the thriller section. And a lot of people out there will say, well, this isn't a horror movie. It's got real no horror elements to it. But if you classify Cujo as a horror movie, then this is another one that you can classify. I'm talking about a movie called Bullethead. Basically, Bullethead is Cujo, except with a tougher dog and a dog that will fuck you up more than Cujo does. Bullethead stars Adrian Brody, Rory Culkin, who I fucking love thanks to Lords of Chaos, and a few other people that you will recognize. Bullethead is a really fun movie. I've only seen it the once and I wouldn't mind rewatching it, but I remember being really shocked with it because I stumbled upon it just scanning through Netflix, seeing what they have there, and I've heard no one really talking about this. No one really says much about Bullethead, but it's definitely one to watch if you are in the mood for a animal attack type film or a movie about dogs, and you don't want to watch Marley and Me for the 30th time, then Bullethead is worth a shot, man. Go and check it out. It's out there in the thriller section if you're looking for it. I mean, you can just type it in on the search bar, but whatever. But yeah, Bullethead, give it a go. That does it, man. That is it for my hidden gems on Netflix. I want to thank you guys out there for giving us a watch, giving us a like, subscribe. All those people out there who have subscribed, I praise you. You are the best. You're awesome. Keep to it. We'll be back with episode 4, like the 4 Horsemen, with we're going to be doing kid and family films, horror films, I guess you can call it, on Netflix. And I've got a couple of guests that might interest you. So if you want to stick around, episode 4 will be coming out very soon, in a couple of days' time. So get ready for that. Until then, I am Tim. Catch us on the podcast feed and all that good stuff. And I'll be on soon. Bye.